This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the Tennessee Titans. With that, let's head up to Nashville for the Titans home opener. On the call, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
We welcome all of you to Nissan Stadium on the banks of the Cumberland River in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Tennessee Titans. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we take a look at this Titan Ball Club entering play. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they come into this one after a loss in the opener, and they're in for another tough test here.
And what a battle for an organization to look at your schedule and see 2 road games to start the season and not have a letdown immediately. You got to fight against that. They've got to come out ready to play.
Jakeem Grant now to return. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by their rookie quarterback. He is a young pup, just 21 years of age, out of Pompano Beach, Florida. It's Lamar Jackson.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting on a good performance. Let's see if he can flip those numbers around in this game. And, of course, rally his team to a win.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
first and 10. It's Jackson. That's complete to John Ross. And they're able to get this one across the 35. An 11-yard pickup for the Titans and a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Play action. It's Jackson. Man over the middle, and it's complete. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged, because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat. They kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
Danny Trevathan there to bring him down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Here we go. Blue 90! Blue 90!
Now Jackson on second down. Looking left side, he's got it complete. And he's going to get this one down right to the edge of the red zone of the chalk of the 20. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Defensively, here are the starters for Houston. They're a unit that enters play way down, number 28 in the NFL right now against the run.
Always think back to what my defensive coordinator in college used to tell me. Playing against the run is 11 individual battles, man on man, and are you going to win that battle? You're going to whip the guy across from you and get to the ball carrier, wrap him up, and put him on the ground, because the one thing he absolutely detested was yards after contact. Tackle him, put him down on the spot.
On second down, Jackson being chased out left. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. It's the fullback, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Titans take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
And they can talk all they want about putting a loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed. And this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently. But whatever they said appears to have worked. On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. McManus's point after is good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And a glance at the tall signal caller, standing 6'6". Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Tackle made by Demarius Randall. And the Buffet boys, the O-line. Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
They go back to Riddick. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 3rd and 10. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now?
Smiling?
Yeah, definitely doing that. But he's also patting his guys on the back, his defensive front, because they're keeping him clean, meaning no one's getting to him as a blocker. He's able to run to the football, and the plays he's making, he's spilling them in the offensive backfield.
He'll look to throw. He gets it to Brown, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on 3rd down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. Get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
And the totals for Sammy Watkins in last week's game. 4 catches, 62 yards, and a touchdown.
And most teams mark down big plays as ones that gain 10 yards or more. He certainly has big playability, and we just saw it on display.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. The Texans were penalized 124 times last year, 3rd most in the NFL, and now they come up 1st and 15.
Set. Green, 39.
He'll drop to throw. And Boyd has it over the middle. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. The starting defense for the Titans.
A player that demands our attention, demands that we spotlight him, highlight him, whatever you want to call it, is Cameron Wake, the defensive end for the Miami Dolphins, because at the age of 35, he had 10.5 sacks. The 5th time in his career he's hit double digits. All this after 2 seasons ago, coming back from an Achilles tear. Cameron Wake knows how to get it done.
They'll drop to throw. And incomplete. Sammy Watkins, the intended target, and now it's 3rd down. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
All right, here we go.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. They'll get 11, but still a little short. Fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping them from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And it is good. Oh, that one looked to be in trouble the whole way, but it does get over the bar. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
Here comes Grant on the return. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here's the Titan offense now as they make their way back onto the field. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complementary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
Leopard! Leopard!
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now let's go! Green, 30, that's...
On second down, here's Jackson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That's a first down pickup for Tennessee on a gain of 10.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Leopard! Leopard!
On the ground, it's Thompson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Hurry up, here we go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Looking to throw on second down. Jackson. And bulldozing his way through. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
All right, here we go! Blue 90!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
And before they can get settled in here, time expires. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Garden, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out.
Now let's go! 3, 19!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. Sammy Watkins, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on third down. Looking to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. The Titans offense now, they work their way back onto the field. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Here we go now.
Jackson now on 2nd and 10. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Jordan Phillips coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now and he fires one that's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
And now out comes Houston. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, what a juke into space. And they're able to get this one down to the 25. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Dance class, anyone? Did you see the steps between the quarterback and the running back on that counter play?
That's what you need for a good counter.
You have to have it because you're setting up your blocking. There's a timing element as well. But they have to marry up their steps. Otherwise, that timing gets thrown out the window.
Timing was great there and a big run. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll look to throw. Man open left side is Brown. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice time.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Cameron Wake in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a 2nd one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. The defensive end, Cameron Wake, brings him down.
Nice job there defensively on third down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
The Texans on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 14.
Here we go.
They're going to look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And Vinatieri's kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Here's Jackson to throw on 2nd down. Throw left side, complete to Ross. And they'll get it out just short of the 45 at the 44. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Set. Green 30.
Jackson on 1st down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone.
Here we go now.
And on the ground they go with running back. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
3rd and 2. Here's Jackson. Flushed out right. He lost the football. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
Oh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
The Texans were penalized 124 times last year, 3rd most in the NFL, and now they come up 1st and 15. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll bring up second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here we go now. Blue Niners.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Over the middle here to Brown. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Tennessee after this. The Texans on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll look to throw. The completion to Riddick. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. That goes as a gain of 36 on third down.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. He finds Riddick complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it a second down.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
They'll set up to throw. Out to the flat for Riddick. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A gain of 4 on the play, and that's going to make it third down and less than a yard. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
And Vinatieri's kick is good. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans defense, we watch them get set to go. And a big reason they have the lead right now, as we see on the screen, their 3 turnovers.
And how about the emotion now that the defensive team is generating for the entire team?
Jackson on first down, escaping the pressure right. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Here we go now. Look at this, 39.
To throw on second down, Jackson. Going right side here, and that's complete. A gain of 32 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Player has it complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. This quarterback now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
Lucky 56, Green 39, Detroit 39. Detroit.
Now Jackson on 2nd down. Left side here, and it's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The Titans efficient passing on this drive. There's another 1st down. And now the clock will stop as he's able to get up and spike it here. Second down, Jackson flush to his right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. Able to put it through. So we've reached halftime here in Nashville. The music. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Now Riddick. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
The Texans on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
All right, here we go.
Riddick with a carry. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Titans now. They'll have it first on offense to start the third. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said,
weaving through traffic, and now he's free. Past the 20. Touchdown, Titans. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Titans are going to add on to their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not pump the ball again.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
The Texans on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 11.
Now let's go. 3-19.
They'll look to throw here. Oh, he can't hang on to it. Almost intercepted. They would have loved the first pick of the game there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. The Titan offense now working their way back onto the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They go play action now. Jackson on the move to his left. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 35.
All right, Brandon. Normally when you hear about guys making 2 interceptions in a game, you're thinking must be a free safety, maybe a corner. How about getting 2 picks out of one of your linebackers? Again, he's just in the right place at the right time. And that's another great play to come away with the football.
And now out comes Houston. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And nearly picked off there, and it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
On is the punter King to send it away. Now the Titans getting set to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. Throwing now, Jackson on first down, eluding the pressure right. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
Set! Blue landing! Blue landing! Detroit! Detroit!
Jackson now off the bootleg. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Jabal Sheard. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
And that is incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
The Titans on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19.
Hurry up, here we go! Blue landing! Gun, gun! Blue landing! Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Hot!
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And now out comes Houston. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
All right, here we go.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
3-19.
On the ground, it's ready. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
The Texans on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. He'll drop to throw. Oh, he can't hang on to it. Almost intercepted. They would have loved the first pick of the game there, but at least it does get him to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
51 yards on the punt there. And it'll be Titan football. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And the numbers show the improvement, and this is kind of what we thought we would expect to see from him. I know we overanalyze these things sometimes, but what switch? What's flipped that switch?
Sometimes I think when you're as great as he is, you just kind of roll out each game and expect good things to happen. And that's not always the case. Those guys on the other side of the ball, they're in the NFL too for a reason. So maybe at halftime he gets a chance to regroup, kind of get it back together, get a little extra resolve, and now he's putting it into practice. An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
Hurry up, here we go.
On second down, here's Jackson. Flushed out right. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Texans scoop it. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And now out comes Houston. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the fourth quarter. Stewart on first down. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. First target, first catch, and a first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
They'll drop to throw. Escaping the pressure right. They'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. Trying to push it in, Stewart. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
This defense has not surrendered a touchdown yet. You better believe they're determined not to here on 3rd and goal. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. Gotta try it here. He's back to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Titans defense will celebrate the goal line stand. A breakdown by the O-line at the worst possible time. 4th and goal, and it leads to a sack.
And I can just see it now. On the sidelines, they're telling the quarterback, you've got to get rid of it somehow, some way. At least get it in the end zone and give us a chance. If we throw an interception, so what? A sack? We didn't even have a chance.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's third down.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield, and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for fourth down. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back. Tell him to take care of the ball and try and move forward.
Here's Bradley Pinion now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. Fielded just inside the 30. That'll be a 49-yard punt, 6 yards there on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Elsewhere, they're into the 4th at FedEx Field. And the Colts adding to their total as they're able to stretch their lead in that one. Alex Smith, 2 touchdown passes thus far. Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10. And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag.
False start, offense.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
The Texans were penalized 124 times last year, 3rd most in the NFL, and now they come up 1st and 15.
All right, here we go.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Back to throw here. And break. The tight end's got it. And he's able to get out to the 32. Brought down there. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And here is a leaping catch. He pulled it in. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. The Titans offense now, they get set to head back out here. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And they'll run it here. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. On 3rd down, Jackson, nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Texans scoop it, and he will have a touchdown. So they were down by a touchdown, probably just hoping the defense could hold them, maybe force the punt. Instead, they force the turnover and take it into the house.
Well, the plan was perfect. That's exactly what they wanted. Instead, they got a lot more than that. Big-time capitalization by taking the ball away and putting it in the end zone.
Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now back to throw. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. And a failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out come the Titans now. They'll be looking to make amends for the events of a moment ago. A fumble return for 6 points.
You absolutely have to protect the football. That's got to be priority number 1 because margin for error is starting to slip away. Now it's down to a 1-score game.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Green 39.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Now let's go.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get this up to about the 40. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. The Texans going to signal for their third and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And they get him down right near the midfield stripe. Calling a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Now they'll run it on the toss. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That'll go as a loss of 5. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
The Titans on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. They'll run with Thompson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a pickup of 13, and with that 13 yards, this ball game just about over.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right, they need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Tennessee, they make amends for their Week 1 loss by winning their home opener. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they'll drop to 0-2. And they will be at home next week to take on the New York Giants. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is